They were built in an era when machines had souls, when steel was thick, gears were honest, no sensors, no screens, just pure mechanical muscle. These are the tractors that refuse to die, machines from the 1970s that still wake up every morning and go to work, just like they did 50 years ago. So let's roll back the years and meet the 10 classic tractors that farmers still trust even half a century later. Number 1. John Deere 4020. When people talk about the golden age of farming in the 1960s and 1970s, the name John Deere 4020 comes up more than any other. This wasn't just another green machine, it was the tractor that set the performance and reliability standard for an entire generation. Built between 1964 and 1972, the 4020 was part of John Deere's new generation lineup, and by the early 70s it had already earned its legendary reputation across farms worldwide. Under the hood, the 4020 housed a powerful 6-cylinder diesel engine, producing around 95 PTO horsepower, a perfect balance between strength and fuel economy. Farmers appreciated that this engine could run for thousands of hours with little more than regular oil changes and filter replacements. The tractor also featured Deere's synchro-range transmission, which allowed smoother shifting through 8 forward gears, giving operators more control in tough field conditions. What made the 4020 special wasn't just its power, it was its design philosophy. Everything was built with practicality in mind. Wide operator platforms, comfortable seating, strong hydraulics, and dependable PTO systems that made it easy to connect implements. It was simple enough that a farmer could diagnose and fix most issues with basic tools, yet modern enough to handle large implements for plowing, cultivating, or baling. Decades later, thousands of 4020s are still in operation, some fully restored, others still running original engines. Farmers trust them because they were overbuilt, honest machines. No complicated electronics, no fragile sensors, just cast iron, gears, and heart. It's a tractor that defined the modern era of mechanized agriculture, and to this day, many say, if you can't trust a 4020, you can't trust anything. Number 2. John Deere 4430. The John Deere 4430 was the tractor that took the hard-working spirit of the 4020 and brought it into a new era, one where comfort, power, and endurance came together in perfect harmony. Introduced in 1973 as part of Deere's 30 series, the 4430 quickly became the dream machine for mid-sized and large farms across America. It packed the kind of muscle farmers wanted. A 6.6-liter turbocharged diesel engine generating about 125 horsepower. But what truly made it revolutionary was how it treated the operator. This was the first John Deere tractor to feature the iconic SoundGuard cab, a near-silent, dust-sealed, and air-conditioned environment that transformed long days in the field from misery into comfort. Before the SoundGuard, most tractors were open-station designs that exposed operators to heat, cold, dust, and noise. The 4430 changed all that, proving that comfort wasn't a luxury, it was productivity. Mechanically, the 4430 was a powerhouse. Its power-shift transmission gave smooth, clutch-free gear changes, while its advanced hydraulic system provided precise control for modern implements. The strong rear end and heavy-duty axles allowed it to pull 5 bottom plows or large planters effortlessly. Its turbocharged engine delivered torque that could handle hilly terrain and thick soil without losing speed. Even 50 years later, the 4430 remains a symbol of dependable American engineering. Farmers love it for the same reasons their fathers did. It's powerful, simple to maintain, and built like a tank. Many are still working today, often with over 10,000 hours on the clock, proof that these machines were built to outlast generations. The 4430 didn't just make farming easier, it made it smarter. Number 3. International Harvester 1066. If John Deere owned the color green, International Harvester ruled the color red. And the IH-1066 was the flagship that carried that banner proudly through the 1970s. Released in 1971, this beast quickly became one of the most beloved and best-selling tractors in North America. Farmers didn't just buy them, they swore by them. Under its bold red hood was a DT414 turbocharged diesel engine, a 6.8-liter powerhouse producing between 125 and 135 horsepower. But what farmers really loved wasn't just the number, it was the torque. The 1066 had incredible low-end grunt, allowing it to pull heavy plows and discs without ever feeling overworked. When tough soil or steep ground pushed other tractors to their limits, the 1066 just dug deeper and kept going. Another highlight was the torque amplifier transmission, allowing operators to shift under load, a huge advantage for variable terrain or changing workloads. Its hydraulic system was robust and responsive, and the operator station, while not luxurious, was spacious and functional. Everything was built for reliability, from the cast iron frame to the heavy-duty rear axles that rarely broke no matter the abuse. Even today, many 1066 are still earning their keep in hayfields and on small farms. Others are prized collector's items, restored to show condition by enthusiasts who recognize their historical importance. Ask any farmer who ran one in its prime, and they'll tell you the same thing. You could run it all day, shut it off, and it would still be ready to go at dawn. The 1066 wasn't just a tractor, it was a partner in the hardest years of farming life. Number 4. International Harvester 1466. By the mid-1970s, farms were getting bigger, implements were getting heavier, and the need for more horsepower was undeniable. International Harvester answered that call with the 1466, a tractor that brought turbocharged muscle to the fields and cemented IH's reputation as a builder of unbreakable machines. Introduced in 1974, the 1466 was a step above the already impressive 1066. Featuring a DT436 turbocharged diesel engine that produced roughly 145 horsepower, a serious number for its time. This wasn't a tractor for the faint of heart. It was built to pull heavy tillage equipment through tough clay soil and run big PTO-driven machines like forage harvesters and large balers. The 1466's engine had a wide torque range, meaning it could power through resistance without bogging down. Farmers often said it felt like a locomotive, it just kept pulling. The tractor also featured IH's proven torque amplifier and a sturdy transmission that could withstand years of abuse. Operators appreciated the slightly refined cab, which offered better visibility, more comfortable seating, and controls logically placed for long working hours. Maintenance was simple. Everything from fuel filters to injectors was easily accessible, and spare parts were readily available, thanks to IH's vast dealer network. The 1466's reputation for reliability became legendary. Many are still running today with their original engines, some pushing 20,000 hours with only routine overhauls. It became a favorite not only for large American farms but also for export markets where dependability was everything. The 1466 represents the peak of IH's mechanical era, a perfect blend of power, simplicity, and strength. For many, it's the last true international harvester tractor before electronics started complicating things. Number 5. Massey Ferguson 135. If there's one tractor that can claim the title of most trusted small tractor ever built, it's the Massey Ferguson 135. Produced from 1964 through the late 1970s, the MF-135 became a global symbol of dependability, simplicity, and pure mechanical honesty. It didn't need to boast about massive horsepower or complex hydraulics. Its charm lay in its practicality. At its heart was a three-cylinder Perkins AD 3.152 diesel engine, producing around 45 horsepower. While that may sound modest, it was perfectly balanced for the MF-135's lightweight frame and simple driveline. This engine was known for its phenomenal fuel economy. Farmers joked that it could run all week on a whiff of diesel. It was easy to start, even in cold weather, and would run reliably for thousands of hours with minimal maintenance. The transmission was straightforward, usually an 8-speed manual, and the hydraulic system, though simple, was robust enough to handle all kinds of implements, from plows to mowers to small loaders. Its compact size and maneuverability made it the ideal choice for for small farms, vineyards, and dairy operations where agility was just as important as muscle. What made the MF-135 legendary was its universality. From the British countryside to the farmlands of India and the African plains, it proved itself in every climate and condition imaginable. Farmers appreciated that nearly every part was mechanical, replaceable, and easy to repair. No complicated electronics or fragile sensors. Even today, thousands of MF-135s are still in daily use, some on small holdings, others as yard tractors for larger farms. It's a machine that embodies the phrase "built to last." For many farmers, the MF-135 wasn't just a tractor. It was a member of the family that worked hard, asked for little, and never let them down. Number 6. Massey Ferguson 165. As farms grew and tasks became heavier, many farmers wanted the reliability of the MF-135, but with more horsepower and lifting capacity. Enter the Massey Ferguson 165, a mid-range tractor that delivered power, comfort, and versatility in one perfectly engineered package. Built from the late 1960s into the 1970s, the MF-165 became the go-to machine for medium-sized farms across Europe, North America, and Australia. Under the hood, the 165 offered several engine options, but the most popular was the Perkins A4.212 diesel, producing around 60 horsepower. This engine was celebrated for its fuel efficiency, quiet operation, and strong low-end torque, perfect for pulling plows or powering balers. Its reliability made it a farmer's dream, and it could run for 10,000 hours or more with proper maintenance. The MF-165 came with an optional multi-power transmission, allowing quick shifts between high and low ranges without using the clutch. That made it extremely handy in variable field conditions or when handling implements like mowers and rakes. The hydraulics were smooth and responsive, with ample lift capacity for the tractor's size. Farmers loved the MF-165 for its balance. It was powerful but not bulky, simple but not crude. It could work in the fields, haul loads on the road, or run a generator or thresher via PTO. Its straightforward design meant that even after 50 years, parts are still easy to find and repairs can be done with basic tools. To this day, many MF-165s are still running daily, often passed down through families or restored by enthusiasts who appreciate its no-nonsense engineering. In an era where machines have become more complicated and costly, the 165 stands as a reminder that simplicity and strength never go out of style. Number 7. Ford 5000. When Ford launched the 5000 series in the mid-1960s, it didn't just create a tractor, it built a legend. By the 1970s, the Ford 5000 had earned a global reputation as the go-anywhere, do-anything machine for farmers who needed reliability above all else. Producing around 75 horsepower from its rugged four-cylinder diesel engine, it hit the sweet spot for both small and large farms, especially across Europe and North America. The Ford 5000 was designed for real-world farming, not fancy specs. Its engine was famous for being nearly indestructible, with a simple mechanical fuel system that could run on low-quality diesel if needed. The tractor's 8-speed transmission provided smooth control across a range of jobs, from plowing and cultivating to transport and loader work. The key to its success was versatility. It could handle big implements for field work, yet still maneuver easily in smaller spaces. Its strong rear lift, responsive hydraulics, and reliable PTO made it suitable for a variety of attachments, a must-have for mixed farming operations. Farmers also loved how easy it was to maintain. With no complicated electronics or sensors, the Ford 5000 could be repaired in the barn, using nothing more than a wrench, a manual, and some elbow grease. The abundance of parts and simple design meant downtime was minimal, an essential factor during busy harvest seasons. What made the Ford 5000 stand out globally was its export success. It became a common sight from Britain to New Zealand, from Canada to Kenya. Even today, in many developing nations, the Ford 5000 remains the backbone of smallholder farming operations. Half a century later, it's not unusual to see a Ford 5000 still chugging away, pulling a plow, or running a water pump, living proof that good engineering never dies. Number 8. David Brown 885. The David Brown 885, produced through the 1970s, is one of those tractors that never sought the spotlight, yet quietly earned a reputation for being nearly unbreakable. Built by the British manufacturer David Brown, the 885 was designed as a small utility tractor for mixed farms, orchards, and general-purpose work. Despite its modest size, it delivered performance and reliability that rivaled larger competitors. Under the hood sat a 2.7-liter three-cylinder diesel engine, producing about 45 horsepower. It wasn't flashy, but it had fantastic torque and fuel efficiency. The engine was designed to run for thousands of hours with little maintenance. It was simple, air-efficient, and built to handle dirty fuel conditions often found in rural areas. What farmers loved most about the 885 was its straightforward design. It featured a sturdy gearbox, strong hydraulics, and a well-balanced chassis that made it extremely stable. The tractor's compact size made it ideal for working in confined spaces, like barns or orchards, while still capable of heavy pulling tasks such as tillage or transport. Maintenance was delightfully easy. The 885 was designed so that filters, fuel lines, and injectors could be serviced without removing major components. Mechanics called it a farmer's tractor, built by people who actually understood farm work. While David Brown as a brand later merged with Case, the legacy of the 885 endures. Many of these tractors still operate in the UK, New Zealand, and Australia, often outlasting newer models that rely too heavily on electronics. For those who appreciate old-school reliability, the 885 remains a mechanical masterpiece, proof that simplicity and good engineering can stand the test of time. Number 9. Allis-Chalmers 7040. The Allis-Chalmers 7040, part of the 7000 series introduced in the mid-1970s, represented American tractor engineering at its boldest. Painted in that signature orange color, the 7040 was built to handle the increasing demands of larger farms and heavier implements. Powered by a turbocharged 7.0-liter diesel engine producing about 150 horsepower, this was no small-time tractor. It was built for serious field work. The 7040's engine delivered excellent torque at low RPMs, allowing it to pull massive plows or discs through thick soil without stalling. One of its standout features was the power director transmission, which allowed seamless shifting between ranges without clutching, a major improvement for long hours of tilling and hauling. Its hydraulics were strong and responsive, providing the kind of precision control that farmers valued when operating heavy machinery. The 7040's cab also marked a leap forward. With sound insulation, better visibility, and improved ergonomics, operators could finally spend full days in the field without being exhausted. Durability was another reason for its loyal following. The heavy cast-iron frame, reinforced axles, and industrial-grade drivetrain made it a favorite for farms that pushed their tractors hard. Even today, many 7040s are still working, a testament to Allis-Chalmers' overbuilt design philosophy. In the world of classic tractors, the 7040 stands tall as a symbol of raw American power, tough, capable, and built to last a lifetime. Number 10. Belarus MTZ-50. No list of classic 1970s tractors would be complete without mentioning the Belarus MTZ-50, a machine that helped mechanize entire countries. Built in the USSR and exported worldwide, the MTZ-50 was the definition of rugged simplicity. With its four-cylinder diesel engine producing around 55 horsepower, the MTZ-50 wasn't fancy or fast, but it was unstoppable. Designed for harsh conditions, from the freezing winters of Russia to the dry fields of Africa, this tractor could handle abuse that would destroy others. Everything about it was mechanical and overbuilt. The transmission, clutch, and hydraulics were easy to repair with basic tools, even in the middle of nowhere. It lacked comfort and finesse, but it was a survivor. Farmers in Eastern Europe and Asia called it the tractor that refuses to die. The The MTZ-50's popularity stemmed from its affordability and durability. Parts were cheap and easy to replace, and it didn't need specialized fuel or tools. That's why, even 50 years later, many are still working daily in small farms, hauling loads or plowing fields. It might not have been the most refined tractor of its time, but it earned something more valuable: trust. For millions of farmers across the world, the Belarus MTZ-50 proved that dependability matters more than luxury. They say good things don't last forever, but these tractors prove otherwise. Decade after decade, generation after generation, they've carried the weight of farming's toughest days. The world has gone digital, but out there somewhere, an old 4020 or 1066 still rumbles to life, a reminder that true strength is timeless. If you loved this journey through farming history, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who still believes old iron never dies.